Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where today we will be up to our usual tricks, breaking down the game design elements and passing out lore secrets based on the source materials. This is the first of a two-parter in which I want to focus on some of the named but unseen characters, mostly the outer gods, the greater will, and so forth. But the character who got me thinking about all this, and who I want to talk about first, is the Glowmite Queen, who is referred to briefly as the leader of the Godskins. As I began to break down what we do know about the Glowmite Queen, a few sirens sounded in my mind that we are dealing with another very direct mythology reference here. To give some very brief context and to make sense of what I'm about to discuss, we've seen very frequently on this channel how a great deal of what George R.R. Martin especially contributed to Elden Ring is lifted directly from the major works inspired by the Ring mythology rooted in the Old Norse tradition. The single biggest source of inspiration has been Wagner's Ring Cycle, the epic four-part opera series that deals with the power struggle between the gods and mortals over a cursed ring with the power to control the universe. I'm not going to repeat that discussion here, but have a look at the Millennia video for a more in-depth look. For those of you who don't know, which I think must have been most of us, gloam is another word for dusk, or as an adjective, for the gloominess of the encroaching evening. That clue should take you straight back to the fourth and final instalment of the Ring Cycle. The title of this work, Götterdämmerung, literally means Twilight of the Gods, and is the exact translation of the Old Norse Ragnarok. As you can guess, this final part of the Ring Cycle deals with the events in which the gods destroy themselves through infighting and end up burning the whole world down with them. To some extent, Melina is inspired by the character Brunhilde, who sets that in motion by sacrificing herself on the funeral pyre at the grand finale. As we've discussed before, all this, that is Ragnarok, is basically the foundation of the plot of Elden Ring. The only major point of creative difference is that here the infighting has come to a stalemate and we the character player have to set things in motion. Otherwise there'd be no game to play. The outer gods are, as a rule, unseen, but there are a few popular candidates for which character might secretly be the Glowmite Queen, especially Melina because of her dusky purple eye in the ending cutscene. Let's talk very quickly about the running theme of one closed eye amongst Empyreans. I say running theme, although in some cases it's hard to tell. That is another direct lift from Norse mythology, specifically from the head god Odin, who sacrificed an eye in order to gain divine wisdom. Incidentally, he also sacrificed his physical body to gain a cosmic understanding of reality. So one closed, missing or otherwise damaged eye is a signifier of membership in the godly family of Elden Ring, and is one of many clues that Melina is a daughter of Marika. The eye is one solid piece of evidence, but my main point of interest, and the thing I really wanted to share with you in this video, is how Melina's dialogue relates to what we're talking about. Firstly, if you recall the trailer, she says, referring to the bosses, that one by one they will fight and they will die, although in fairness that dialogue doesn't occur in the game. The other thing is right at the end when she promises to deliver destined death. The operative word here isn't death, but destined. The events of Ragnarok are laid out in exacting detail, specifying who kills who and in what order before the Giant's Flame burns everything down. The essential point is that it is all imagined as being set in motion and inescapable. Destined death, you might say. Of course, Marika has sealed destined death away in this world setting, hence the stalemate we find. Melina's dialogue represents an unbounded version of what happens when the Twilight of the Gods finally draws in, and the reveal of her eye at the end of the plot, even if it isn't explicitly said aloud, points us in the direction of her being the Glowmite Queen. So there you have some more, I think, very convincing justification for the Melina theory, coming from a plot perspective. If we are correct in saying that Melina is indeed the Glowmite Queen, that opens the door to a few other questions. If we're on her side, or if she's on our side, Why are the Godskins forever getting in our way? Perhaps enough time has elapsed since Marika sealed away the Rune of Death that they've long since lost their sense of purpose. And what exactly was their original motivation before that? I don't have any easy answers to those questions, and I'm not sure anything in the base game sheds much light for us. Nevertheless, we've seen the original inspiration for the Glowmite Queen and the Godskins, and that in itself gives us a very solid grasp on who and what they essentially are, even if the particularities of their backstory haven't yet been revealed. Perhaps we'll find out more in what I'm calling Shadow of the Eric Tree. Having now looked at the Glowmite Queen, I will move on in the next video to talking about the One Great, the Outer Gods, and the Divine Hierarchy in general in Elden Ring. This is a fascinating topic and you won't want to miss that one, so subscribe and keep an eye out for when I release it. Until then, thank you as ever for watching.